Welcome home, my friend. This is Coming Home with Mama T, and I'm your host, Tiara, aka Mama T. And we on this podcast love to explore the journey of creating the life of our desires, an extraordinary life through mastering manifestation, maintaining a positive mindset, and living luxuriously. So let's get into it. Today, I want to talk to you about community and the importance of it. I just finished the miniseries on Netflix that is talking about blue zones, and they go into all the different reasons of the blue zones around the world, which is spaces where a lot of the most 100-year-old people live or people that get over 100 years, and studying kind of what about their lifestyles have allowed them to have so much longevity. And one of the things that they attributed to the longevity was, of course, community, which we're talking about today. And I know for me, community is something that I have been just striving towards. I can hear myself in my head say struggling with, but really it's striving towards. And it's just about creating the perfect community for myself. And my community doesn't have to look like your community. We are a safe space here, right? But with that, always leaning into what is it that we desire. And so I can think about myself as a child just really wanting to fit in, and I craved being not so much attention as just being a part of something. I know I can feel this soul pull to be a part of a community, be seen, be recognized, and enjoy that space. And some of my favorite moments growing up were always when we were surrounded by a lot of people, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, hosting events, and cooking for people, and sharing that beautiful, delicious goodness of a home. And so with that, I think it's important that we really look at who we spend our time with. They say, you are the average of the top 5 people that you spend your time with. So are you hanging out with people who are like-minded? Are you hanging out with people who support what it is that you desire to experience in your life? Are you hanging out with positive mindset people? Are you spending time with people that are stuck in the matrix, if you will, versus people who are willing to level themselves up and take some ownership of their life experience? Look at that kind of thing, right? Look at your life. Are you hanging out with people who seem to be a victim of their experience, or are you hanging out with creators? Okay. I'm not talking about digital content creators, anything I'm talking about people who are here to manifest, make shit happen, whether they're trying to make a business happen, whether they're I'm going to be the next Michael Jordan, Beyonce, whoever, not even, they're not even going to be the next whoever. They're going to be themselves. That is the epitome, right? I think I said that to somebody. I was like, ooh, you got the vibes of the next whatever. And they were like, honey, there's no next whoever it was that I mentioned. I am me. And I was like, yes, honey. Yes, all of that. There is no better me than me. There is no better you than you. So what level of you are you going to bring to your community, right? And so with that, one of the most important things I find about up-leveling ourselves and taking ownership of our life experiences is the fact that we get to experience that raise of frequency. We get to, our life shifts to match where we're at and where we're experiencing, where our energy is at. So for example, like I said, if you saw the TikTok, awesome. If not, I'm telling you about it now. So I had said that I wanted to talk about community today because I had a really extraordinary experience, and I'm going to share that with you in a little bit. But I was like, ooh, I really want to bring this into podcast and sharing and talking about it. And I'm thinking about it, but I also wanted to get my space ready before I just started recording. So I came outside and I like cleared some stuff. Like I had a trampoline on this balcony. Okay. I had a trampoline on this balcony, and it's been on this balcony since like probably within the first 3 months of moving here. So about 5 years. It's like been one of the things that people like loved and hated about our space, because they would like come in and be like, are you trying to jump over like off the 6th floor? No. But it was just like something kind of fun, something different or whatever. And never really jumped on that. Like, yes, a couple of times, but like no more than like 5 minutes. But what I would do we had it covered in blankets and pillows and kind of made it like a little like meditation thing, but it wasn't super comfortable. And oftentimes I just like roll it to the side and lean it against our railing and like just lay out in the middle. And I'm like, all right, it's in the way. I got to create space, right? And so I say that to say, whenever we're trying to cultivate something in our lives, we have to create the space for whatever it is that we're looking to hold, create, whatever in our life experience. So if we are looking to redecorate our home, oftentimes we have to get rid of some of the old stuff that we already had in our home to create space for the new stuff that we're bringing in. The same goes for our energy and our like experience. Sometimes we have to like let go of old friends to create space for new friends, because those old friends aren't at the level and the energy that we are putting out anymore. So going back to the energy, we get to recognize when we level ourselves up how sometimes people fall away. When we change our mindset, when we get really deep into our belief structure, when we get into trusting ourselves, when we create boundaries, all that kind of stuff, people who were not at or who are not at that level that we have created for ourselves tend to kind of fall away. And then new people show up and show out. And there are going to be people who are like, I don't know if I like this change in you. Like, while you might like it and you might be like thriving from it, they're not getting the same experience because you're not, rolling in the weakness, if you will, with them. And so they're struggling to like connect again, and you don't have to like enter in that. You don't have to let them go completely. You can just like learn to set boundaries and whatever, and that can be a whole different conversation. But you can be like, cool, we just don't do those things that we used to do anymore. We get to do this now, and I want to do this now, and all of that. So all that to say, I had a great experience. So something that I have been craving for my own like community experience is like actual in-person experiences. Like I have, especially with COVID, I really dove into a lot of like virtual events, and there's something to be said about virtual. Like I love the fact that we can connect with people all across the globe through Zoom meetings and all that kind of stuff, and it's great. And I kind of get this like, it feels to me like the Zoom meetings or the virtual experiences are like being in the quantum, being in your like your mind, like your visualization. So if you're someone that has like a visualization practice, when you're like looking to manifest, which I think is really great, because the importance of visualization is that it helps. Your mind doesn't know the difference between actually being in a situation and just thinking about it, right? So there's been studies that show that like an athlete can really just visualize running across the finish line and winning the race or whatever, and put himself in that feeling, and then they're in that their body will have the similar emotional responses as if they were already doing the thing. And that aligns with like the manifesting, if you will, the creation of whatever it is you desire. When you visualize, when you put yourself in like, this is what I want to experience, this is what it's going to feel like, you can't help but like bring more of that energy into your life and see synchronicities of like, okay, like I am envisioning owning a space that's going to have room for dancing. It's going to have room for meditations and yoga and movement and all sorts of good stuff. But it's also going to have like a bar and restaurant. It's going to have a garden. It's going to have like my home, but also like space for other people to spend the night. Like it's going to be like resorts spa vibes. Like, this is what I'm owning. And I've noticed that as I go out, like, I'm getting out more, right? I've made a pact with myself that I am getting out of this home more and more, and seeing the world, seeing what's out there, whatever, whether it's like legitimate travel or just like going down the street, just like meeting new people, engrossing myself in community. And so I've gone out a couple of times, and like I went to a yoga class and I saw this space, and it was like super cool because like it gave me ideas for like the space that I wanted to have. And then I've gone to a couple of metaphysical shops and beautiful shops, and I'm like, ooh, this gives me an idea of what I want to bring into my own personal space, which brings me to the experience I had last night. So I'm recording this like circa full moon in Aries, October 2023. Or not October, tomorrow's October, September 29th, 30th, 2023. And I went to this full moon ceremony that I found. And it's funny because I was inspired to look for something in LA after going out to different places in San Diego. And one I think is kind of interesting is that the experiences that I went to in San Diego, I had to pay for. I had to pay to be a part of it. And I felt like it was like cool places that gave me inspiration for what I wanted to experience, but I didn't feel like, you know, when you walk into a room and like people can kind of look at you, but like you don't fully fit in, or it doesn't, it's just like you're not there. And maybe it's just because I don't live in that space, so I might have had an energy of like, I don't want to like fully commit to any of you because like I'm not going to see you for like time at a time, like, you know, like I'm not going to see you on a regular basis or whatever, and not diving into that part. But I was there and I was like, all right, cool, this was really cool, I would definitely like to come back. But then the experience that I had at home is, one, I found free parking. Hollywood, free parking, honey. If you don't know, you don't know. Free parking. One, I found free parking. Two, the event was free, and I love that. And then three, I got gifts. We all love swag, okay? At least this girly does. And so I got a beautiful journal. I got a beautiful pre-roll. Candle for intention candle, all sorts of, so it was like a cute little bag, and the space was really gorgeous, and I really connected. I felt like I connected with the lady who ran the ceremony. Like, she was very nice, she was very welcoming, she wanted to chit chat, she followed on Instagram, like, you know, good vibes. Like, is she my new bestie? Not right now, maybe down the line, who knows. But it felt really good to just be present in that space. And it was a reminder of like, okay, this is what community can feel like, and we can find community wherever we are. We also can create community wherever we are. So I see these ideas, and I see also like what she's doing with her business and what other people are doing with their businesses that are in like the spiritual space, that are in the podcasting space, that seem to be at least living their life or their business as their life, which is my desire. And so I'm learning different ways of how I can incorporate that. And that's one of the other cool things about community, right? We get to learn about what it is that we want to create when we put ourselves around like-minded individuals, people that are creating what it is that we would like to experience. We get to see what they're doing, their strategies. We get to learn, we get to be inspired to get out and create for ourselves. So we can do that. We also don't have to do it alone when we're a part of community, right? We don't have to do it alone. And honestly, I feel like it is so fulfilling to share with others, right? One of the biggest points of coming home with Mama T, creating the home space, of really like leaning into teaching and coaching, is wanting to help others live a fulfilling life. Because I truly believe that when we are fulfilled, we are happy. And when we are happy, we can't help but like spread happiness to other people. We can't help but feel that love within and share that love. Our cup's running over, and it's just running over to like the person next to us and the person next to them, and it's running through our community, and that community spreads out to the world. And as it spreads out to the world, we make a better world, and people aren't going to want to fight, steal, do whatever when they are fulfilled and they are happy with one another. People can understand better on a higher level when we are happy and we are fulfilled, and that is why it's so important. So with that, We're going to keep talking more and more about this. We're going to keep talking about experiences. We're going to build community together. So I encourage you to, one, if you're not already subscribed to Coming Home with Mama T, please subscribe. And thank you so much for listening to this episode. But keep listening, turn on the notifications, and even better, share with 2, 3 friends, family members, whatever that you think would appreciate this message and more. And then you can always go to www.abubbly.life/luxury living to check out all the things that we have going on, from booking one-on-one sessions to checking out some of my Amazon favorites. So if you like my swag, you like my water bottle, whatever it is, you can always go to there to check out all of my fun little Amazon finds and so much more. I hope you have a magical day, and I'll talk to you later.